The records seldom speak of a storm that rises in a single heartbeat, but today, the Southern Cyanwood Forest trembles under the name Chu Feng. Martial God Asura chapter 1031 to 1032, whispers of a rank 9 martial lord who defies age and expectation, have erupted into a cacophony of shattered trees and splintered bones. 4 Han family elders, proud and imperious, lie battered beneath the force of a power they never imagined, while the forest itself shivers under the tremors of his wrath. Now, as a rank 3 martial king steps forth, the air grows heavy with unrelenting tension, and every eye strains to see. Can any authority withstand the torrent of Chu Feng's wrath? Or will even the mightiest fall before a genius who warps destiny itself? In the heart of the Southern Cyanwood Forest, an electric tension hung in the air, thick enough to choke the very soul. Eyes widened, breaths caught, and even seasoned elders felt a shiver run down their spines, for among them stood a young man whose presence was nothing short of a storm incarnate, a force that defied expectation and shattered preconceptions. Chu Feng. Rank 9 martial lord, whispered voices trembled, barely audible over the wind that seemed to recoil from his aura. The realization struck like lightning. Chu Feng was no ordinary cultivator. He was a prodigy of unprecedented might, a tempest in mortal form. All around him, even the proudest warriors of the southern sea region felt the weight of his power pressing against their hearts. Shen Lang and his companions could hardly believe their eyes, their expressions frozen in disbelief. This junior, barely of their generation, had already ascended to the rank that only the legends of old could claim. In the Southern Cyanwood Forest, a rank 9 martial lord was a myth. A handful of elders had reached such heights over decades, their strength tempered by time and experience. And yet here was Chu Feng, a youth who had scaled the same peak with a ferocity that rivaled dragons. Even the black-haired elder who had opposed him before felt a tight knot form in his chest. To encounter a rare talent like this was to stand at the precipice of calamity. To challenge him recklessly would invite ruin. The elder's face darkened, his mind raced, calculating, weighing honor against survival. Capturing Chu Feng could perhaps allow for negotiation, a chance to turn calamity into opportunity. Men, capture him. His voice cut through the gathering like steel. 4 of his fellow elders moved at once, surging forward with their martial king auras blazing. A combination of rank 1 and rank 2 might aim to subdue, to punish, and to humiliate, but they had underestimated the young lord. Chu Feng's eyes flared, burning with unbridled rage, his aura rippling outward like an awakening god of war. All of you shall perish. His voice carried the weight of inevitability. The air quivered violently. Gusts of wind tore through the forest, bending trees and scattering leaves like shards of jade. In the blink of an eye, Chu Feng lunged. He evaded their attacks with an almost otherworldly grace, slipping into the heart of the 4 martial kings' formation. And then, like a demon conjuring phantom limbs from pure energy, 4 enormous hands erupted from his martial essence, each one wrapping around an elder with crushing inevitability. The elders struggled, but the hands were not mere illusions. They were extensions of Chu Feng's overwhelming power. Strength drained from their bodies as if the earth itself had claimed it. Resistance became impossible. Chu Feng leapt skyward, a whirlwind incarnate, and smashed the captured elders against a massive, heaven-reaching tree. The collision thundered through the forest. Spiritual barriers meant to protect the ancient wood trembled under the assault. Leaves cascaded like rain, cracks spider-webbed across the protective wards. The 4 elders were pulverized, bodies contorted in agony. Blood streamed from noses and mouths, bones fractured with audible snaps, and even the 2 rank 1 martial kings were rendered unconscious. Witnesses gasped in horrified awe. Is this a monster? How could a martial lord crush martial kings so effortlessly? Murmurs rippled through the crowd, disbelief and admiration tangled in every syllable. Disciples, elders, and bystanders alike froze in awe. To conquer those stronger than oneself was a feat few in the Holy Land of martialism could claim. To dominate martial kings as a martial lord, that was genius of a caliber so rare it would echo through history. Murmurs of astonishment and delight filled the air. Many had suffered under the tyranny of the Han family, and now they witnessed poetic justice unfold before them. Chu Feng's onslaught was as satisfying as it was terrifying. Yet, amidst the chaos, a shadow of caution emerged. The The black-haired elder, heart-pounding, recalculated the risk. Chu Feng's might was undeniable. To confront him recklessly was to invite death. And yet the honor of the Han family could not be trampled without response. With a deep, trembling breath, he channeled the power of a rank 3 martial king, steeling himself. The dance of fate was far from over. Chu Feng had proven his strength, but the final act of this deadly ballet was yet to begin. In the heart of the sun-drenched holy land of martialism, a storm was quietly brewing. A tension so thick it could be sliced with a sword lingered in the air, whispering tales of impending violence. The crowd of cultivators held their breath, sensing the approach of a battle that could shake the very heavens. At the center of it all stood a young warrior, Chu Feng, his presence alone like a calm before a cataclysm. Yet, looming before him was an elder of the Han family, black hair cascading over broad shoulders, a rank 3 martial king whose might dwarfed even the combined strength of the other 4 Han elders. The stage was set for a clash of titans. The black-haired elder's aura surged like a living tempest, pressing down upon Chu Feng with a force that seemed to crush the very air itself. Martial energy erupted from him, rolling like an endless tide of invisible beasts, ferocious and untamed, each roar reverberating through the bones of all who watched. Even Chu Feng, radiating his own oppressive energy, felt it hammer against him like a battering storm. But he did not waver. With calculated precision, the elder mirrored Chu Feng's own technique. Martial energy coalesced around him, solidifying into 4 colossal swords, each over a dozen meters long, gleaming with sharp, unyielding light. They descended like divine executioners aimed at Chu Feng's massive, power-formed hands, intending to cleave them asunder and rescue the 4 besieged elders. A martial king's presence demanded respect, and the sheer weight of his aura made it clear. This was no ordinary adversary. Chu Feng, still a martial lord, felt the looming challenge pressing against him, yet his eyes burned with unyielding resolve. Summoning his inner will, Chu Feng released 3 piercing bolts of thunder from his core. They swirled around him, twisting and coiling until, in a brilliant flash, they formed an impenetrable armor of crackling lightning, enveloping him entirely. The transformation was instant and profound. Before the astonished eyes of the onlookers, Chu Feng ascended from rank 9 martial lord to the pinnacle of rank 1 martial king. His aura shifted, a seismic change that radiated kingly authority. The immense swords, once harbingers of death, faltered under the weight of his newfound power. Shattering at the strike of his outstretched palm, energy cascaded outward like ripples across the heavens. Cracks split the very air, and the colossal swords dissolved into nothingness. Murmurs of shock rippled through the crowd. Could he truly leap from martial lord to martial king in a single breath? Whispers passed between astonished disciples. Even the black-haired elder, seasoned and proud, felt a chill of disbelief. Chu Feng's thunderous rise was no mere trick. It was the manifestation of a rare, almost mythical genius, one whose likes had rarely been seen even in the exalted Southern Sea region. Yet, the Han family's honor was a banner the elder could not surrender. Ignoring his shock, he unleashed a martial skill of extraordinary terror. His right hand moved with fluid precision, releasing boundless energy that condensed into a swarm of immense black-feathered birds, each several meters long. Their razor-sharp beaks and claws threatened to pierce not just flesh, but the very fabric of space itself. The sky darkened as they filled the air, turning brilliant daylight into an unnatural, oppressive night. Cracks laced the heavens as the martial skill of the Han family displayed its formidable might. The power of rank 7 mastery fully realized in this singular strike. Chu Feng did not flinch. With a commanding gesture, he summoned the blade of the Void Dragon's cry, a golden sword ablaze with the roar of dragons and suffused with a formless, annihilating energy. The oppressive might of the bird swarm faltered and shattered before him. Their cries turned to screams of dissolution as they were torn apart, disintegrating into mist before the overwhelming force of Chu Feng's blade. His eyes burned with righteous fury. "Old dog, you dare harm Li Lei? Today, you will pay in full." Without hesitation, Chu Feng surged forward, carrying with him the 4 rescued Han elders. Speed rippled through the air around him like a living current. Though a rank 1 martial king, his velocity rivaled and even surpassed that of the rank 3 martial king he faced. Yet, it was not just speed that made Chu Feng terrifying. It was the ferocity and precision of his strikes. Each movement of the blade of the void dragon's cry was unrelenting, a symphony of soul-stealing energy, leaving no gap for counterattack, no chance for retreat. The black-haired elder, caught in the relentless tide of Chu Feng's onslaught, could only attempt desperate evasions. His power, sharp as a tiger's teeth, was bound and stifled, rendered impotent by the overwhelming assault. With a flash of golden light, Chu Feng's blade struck true. A spray of blood marked the severing of the elder's arm, the force of the strike tearing through sinew and bone alike. The elder's roar of fury echoed across the land, raw and unrestrained, a wild call of vengeance that could no longer be realized. Yet, Chu Feng's blade did not pause. In a merciless arc, he severed the other arm as well, slicing the remnants into countless fragments, scattering them like petals in a storm. The black-haired elder's rage boiled over, a tidal wave of humiliation and wrath. Yet all power to act had been stripped from him. The Han family's pride, though battered, had been defended, and Chu Feng's legend only grew larger in that moment. A tale of lightning, steel, and unyielding courage that would echo for generations.